have you with us on this Friday morning. It's December 20th, 48 degrees in downtown Seattle. Man is off. I'm Brian Calvert. Call it an early Christmas gift for Boeing. Turkish carrier Pegasus Airlines has committed to 100 737 MAX 10 jets in a deal worth $36 billion. The deal includes options for an additional 100 aircraft with deliveries beginning in 2028. A Norwegian Air Boeing 737 overran the runway while landing in Norway yesterday. It stopped just 50 feet from the ocean. The flight from Oslo had 165 passengers on board. It encountered snowy and windy conditions during its landing. All passengers were safely evacuated via emergency slides. The line and the wait could be a lot longer for your Starbucks beverage as unionized baristas across Seattle walk off the job in protest of a labor and pay agreement that hasn't been honored. Worker Michelle Eisen said the company had until now to make good on the February agreement, but has not.
When you're dealing with a company who has a CEO with a compensation package that most would estimate at about $50,000 an hour, 10,000 times what the average barista makes at Starbucks, I have a hard time believing that this person works 10,000 times harder than I do.
Starbucks says the union prematurely ended its bargaining session earlier this week. Seattle police are looking for 53-year-old Richard Sislak, the suspect of the killing of a Metro bus driver. Como 4's Lenan Nguyen has more.
He's wanted in the fatal stabbing of King County Metro bus driver Sean Yim, who died while on the job near the 4100 block of University Way Northeast near the UW campus. Police say they're checking with encampments in the area to find Sislak, and he was last seen just last night around 8 p.m. in downtown Seattle. Investigators also say about 2 weeks ago, Sislak tried to get into an encampment in the area but was rejected, but they did not share why. Again, police warn that Sislak should be considered armed and dangerous, and if you see him, do not approach him. Call 911. Reporting in Seattle, Lenan Nguyen, KOMO News.
More than a dozen people are facing felony charges for vandalizing public and private property with graffiti.
These cases involve charges of malicious mischief, which involves damaging someone else's property. Aaron Goodman, who helps businesses in Seattle's Soto neighborhood, explains the impact unwanted graffiti can have.
When a business owner finds their storefront defaced by graffiti for the 5th, 6th, 20th time, it is a violation, and it contributes to their sense of insecurity, lack of safety.
The city says they spend around $6 million a year on cleaning up graffiti. That doesn't count private groups and business owners who oftentimes end up bearing the cost on their own to get rid of unwanted graffiti.
For Preston Phillips, it's 8:34. To the High Performance Homes Traffic Center, here's Libby Kay.
We've been struggling with some of the ferry sailings from Anacortes and San Juan Islands this morning. Started off with a crew shortage, and looks like the 9:30 vessel sailing to Friday Harbor is going to be the next vessel to return to service. But then the 11:35 from Friday Harbor is going to be the next one that you're going to have out of there. They just had some cancellations of the 8:30 sailing there, so some complications continue. Outside of that, our roadways have been so much more lightly traveled than we're used to seeing. That being said, I-405 in Renton is still definitely full, even coming up from Valley Highway up toward the Newcastle area. I-5 in Seattle heavy is still just north of Boeing Field up beyond I-90. If you're around the airport, enough traffic this morning, but on the whole, no major delays. Southbound side of I-405 through the Bothell area fuller. State Route 522 a little heavier eastbound here, making your way through Mulvey. That's Northwest Traffic. I'm Libby Kay.
Sponsored by Audible.com. Make sure you take Audible on your next flight. Travel with an incredible selection of audiobooks, podcasts, and originals all in one app. There's more to imagine when you listen. Sign up for a free trial at Audible.com. Weather with KOMO 4's George Waldenberger, sponsored by Northwest Crawl Space Services. Hey, George.
Here we go, the final Friday before Christmas. We'll have mostly cloudy skies, mid-50s, and a few spot showers, but most of the day looks to be rain-free. Overnight, quiet, mid-40s. Tomorrow's wet. It's steady and then off and on rains through the day. It's about 50 degrees and breezy. It's windier on Sunday. More wet weather. Rain most of the weekend. That will continue through Christmas. In the KOMO Weather Center, I'm meteorologist George Waldenberger, KOMO 4 News.
Right now in Olympia, we have clouds and 46 degrees. Bremerton checking in with 46 as well. JBLM, 47 degrees. In Puyallup, it's 46. Tacoma, 47. Downtown Seattle, 48 degrees this hour and 8:36. Uber is suing the city of Seattle to block a new law regulating
suspect turned onto southbound 88th Avenue South, hitting a 21-year-old female driver. The victim says the suspect walked off and appeared to be intoxicated after the crash. For investigation, police found the 27-year-old man at his apartment complex a few blocks away and took him into custody.
Four's Mary Na. Two cougars in Washington's Olympic Peninsula have died from the bird flu. One was euthanized after being found weak in a pasture, while the other tracked male was found dead. Both likely contracted the bird flu from prey. Holiday season, a couple of reindeer named Elsa and Pika are bringing extra cheer to Lucky Farms in Lake Stevens. Tara and Scott Lucky, members of the Reindeer Farmers Association, have long dreamed of having reindeer on their farm. The farm's agritourism efforts, like the reindeer tours, are essential to keeping the family-run operation afloat. And there's a new high-tech startup, or help that is, for kids to visit an aquarium. Here's ABC's Danny New.
Out of the way, this robot has fish to see.
Yeah, it was like a computer game.
Actually, let me be more specific. The future marine biologist operating the robot has fish to see.
You see him? Yeah. He's really shy.
For the past few months, the Florida Aquarium in Tampa has been partnering with Tampa General Hospital to give young patients like Gavin here a chance to go exploring while they recover.
It was so cool. Like, I got to go to the aquarium when I'm really just right here.
That interview is from when Gavin got to take the robot on a test run before the program officially launched. He has a condition that leaves him immunocompromised and therefore constantly visiting the hospital for infusions. However, when he's not in the hospital, Gavin loves visiting the aquarium, and he even had the honor of choosing the robot's name, Aquabot 3000. It just came to you?
Yeah.
Here we are today, and now once a week a young patient gets to go on a trip. They operate Aquabot 3000 all by themselves, while the robot zips around the aquarium alongside a chaperone who is there to answer questions, guide the tour, and make sure the robot doesn't, run into any lemurs.
The main focus of the robot was to try to provide some normalcy.
This whole idea came from Florida Aquarium CEO Roger German, who says that he loves how not only do patients get to visit the aquarium on their own time, but also during school time.
You can go on a field trip that you might be like, wait, I can't go to the field trip this week, but nope, you can, and you're totally in control of it.
Yellow and orange.
And for Gavin, he described the chance to feel that kind of control as, quote, freedom.
And you feel joyous. That is good.
It absolutely is. Roger said that they have two Aquabot 3000s, and each one costs around $25,000.
Danny New. Back to the Beacon Plumbing Sports Desk this morning. Bill Swartz standing by, and Bill, positive Seahawks injury news. He's ahead of that big Sunday home game.
K9 closer to full health. Running back Kenneth Walker out the past two games with a calf injury. Full go at Seattle's Thursday practice. His backup, Zach Charbonnet, limited, as was center Olu Oluwatimi. And quarterback Geno Smith says the knee's feeling better every day. He expects to play Sunday against visiting NFC leader Minnesota. Linebacker Derek Cole on Seattle controlling its playoff fortunes with 3 weeks left in the regular season.
Like I said, being able to still control your own destiny at this point in the year, even with everything we went through, is really, really big for us. And I think the motivation is not even that, but just being able to go out and play again on another Sunday, having an opportunity to redeem yourself from what happened last week.
The LA Chargers roared back from a 21-13 halftime deficit, knocking off the Broncos 34-27. Now both teams are 9-6. First of Division I college football playoff games tonight in the Hoosier State. Indiana plays Notre Dame. Goals have been tough to come by in the Kraken's 3-game losing streak. Last night getting a marker from Riker Evans in the third period, but coming up short to the Blackhawks 3-1 in Chicago. It's on to play the Vegas Golden Knights Saturday. And the Mariners snag a backup backstop. Sun and catcher Nick Raposo off the Blue Jays waiver wire. Sports with Swartz at 10:40 after the hour, Northwest News Radio.
Thank you, Bill. It is 8:41. We're going to check back with Libby in just a few moments to get an update on your commute. First, an Arizona third grader is being hailed as a hero after saving his classmate's life.
He's only 8 years old, but Thomas Conley knew what to do when there was an emergency in the school cafeteria.
I was just doodling in my notebook, and then I just heard Isaiah crying, and I was just like, what's wrong? And I realized he was choking.
The moment seen here, that boy grabbing his throat as he begins choking on a grape. Thomas then grabs the back of Isaiah's shirt and starts performing the Heimlich.
Like, he saw me, like, standing over my, like, Heimlich here, and he just pulled me down and did the Heimlich. I was terrified. I went to get some water, hoping he wouldn't get stuck, too.
Incredible timing, too, because just One day earlier, Thomas's mom says she spoke to him about what to do if someone is choking.
We are so proud of him, and it just speaks to the type of person that he is. He's such a good friend.
He's one of those little guys who's just into action. So if there's something going on, he's generally around it and a part of it, and it just seems to them all.
The Mesa Fire Department honored Thomas with a certificate of appreciation for his heroic actions.
I was super grateful, and I wanted him to know how proud I was of him and how thankful I was for him. Him and my son have been friends for a long time. They just happened to be sitting together that day.
Thomas says you should never be scared to help someone.
Christmas just 5 days away, that is. An 8-year-old girl going viral for her holiday shopping excitement.
Alright, I'm sorry I'm wasting a lot of your money, but I'm gonna have to get a peanut charger and an orange.
She's the bite-sized Christmas superfan whose love for all things sparkly and merry.
I might actually buy that because this is really cute.
Okay. Yeah, look at that little one.
That's so cute.
Has racked up more than 50 million views on social media.
Okay, we might have to get a couple.
I know.
And that shopping trip racking up more than just TikTok likes, by the way.
I like this one a lot.
You like this one a lot, the dolphin. Why did you like the dolphin so much?
Yeah, I like those.
You just like dolphins.
Now go.
Like many 8-year-olds, Hannah Strickland's favorite things are simple, from slime
What's my favorite? Bobby's a cow.
to cinema.
Watching a movie with popcorn and juice.
But what's your favorite movie, Hannah?
Not serious.
But unlike her peers, Hannah has cystinosis, a metabolic disorder that affects only 2,500 people worldwide.
I'm definitely a mom on a mission. 2 of my children are affected with a really serious condition. If I can bring awareness about that condition, then that's important to me.
Hannah's mom, Dawn, says she relies on her faith to guide her family through these 3 devastating medical challenges. But it's that faith that makes Christmas such a big deal in the Strickland household.
Are you
Sorry, I'm wasting your money, but I need an order.
If we can make them last for 5 seconds, I kind of feel like, mission accomplished.
Each viral LOL moment
What do you do during a hurricane?
Stay inside, probably die.
translates to awareness raised for a future cure for cystinosis. As for Hannah, she's hoping Santa brings her a Barbie dream house this Christmas. And beyond that, what do you want to be when you grow up, Hannah?
A chef of Paris.
Aha! And maybe you can have a mouse in your hat who helps you cook.
Yeah.
Barbie. Yep, there was one at my house. For the story, we'll stop. Let's get over to the High Performance Homes Traffic Center. Cindy Kay, what do you have for us?
We're just stopping and going right here, Brian, in Seattle on northbound I-5. We're lighter than usual, but this is our heavy pack. It may take you about 6 minutes to get here between Albert Place and the Convention Center. Northbound I-405, the heaviest pack right now. Big surprise here through the Renton area, coming up from the Valley Freeway toward Lake Washington Boulevard. Maybe 11 minutes to get you through that stretch. Outside of that, we just haven't seen so much in terms of heavy delays this morning. There's enough traffic all around. It's just those unusual holiday traffic patterns. That's something we'll get used to for the next week or two. We do have traffic lights malfunctioning in Seattle, Columbia Way and 16th Avenue. Do your best to read those as 4-way stop signs. We've also got road work underway in Seattle and Greenwood Avenue northbound between North 125th Street and 130th Street. You'll have about the right lane block of those 5 or so blocks. 5 crews working there on Pack Highway right around Porter Way. They should finish up by 3 o'clock. Polsbo's got crews working out again today, both sides of Highway 305 near Creative Drive. They should wrap up their work by 3:30 this afternoon. That's Northwest Traffic. I'm Libby Kay.
Sponsored by Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation. The forecast sponsored by Northwest Crawl Space Service with a chance of showers this afternoon with highs in the mid-50s. Rain likely tonight, lows mid-40s tomorrow. Rain at times highs low 50s. Looks like we have a pretty wet weekend. The positive spin on this, or the glass half full spin, I should say, the snow level drops Saturday night to about 4,000 feet, which means we should get some more snow up in the mountains. This report sponsored by Progressive Insurance. You can make sure your family's well taken care of with life insurance. Protect your phones and laptops and more with electronic device insurance, and cover your furry friends with pet health insurance. Visit progressive.com to learn more.
The Northwest's only all-news station.
earlier today on the Northwest Newsline with more.
Teamsters Union, which says it represents about 10,000 workers at 10 Amazon facilities, which is a small portion of the 800,000 altogether who work for Amazon. The Teamsters is threatening to expand this strike unless Amazon sits down at the bargaining table. Amazon, for its part, says it doesn't recognize the vote that has the Teamsters representing some of its workers because Amazon says those aren't their workers. The delivery drivers work for something called a delivery service partner, which is an independent business outside of Amazon, although Amazon provides technology and support, including trucks, even including those blue vests that Amazon drivers wear.
Speaking of drivers, Jim, I'm almost positive that our friend on the other side of the speaker listening to this report is probably thinking, wait a minute, so is the stuff I ordered from Amazon for Christmas actually going to make it on time? And again, this is just a few facilities at this point, right?
Yeah, I mean, chances are very good that the package will not be affected by this strike at all, unless it goes through Southern California or a New York hub or Atlanta or Skokie, Illinois, of all places. Beyond that, though, Amazon says that your packages should make it there on time. That they are shuffling things around and looking for other delivery services to make sure the packages do get there before Christmas Eve.
Yeah, it is interesting to note. I was expecting something the other day, and I checked the website, and it had been rerouted through New York, and it still hasn't shown up yet. So it is a possibility that something might not make it in time for Santa's big day, right?
Well, it is. You're right, and I think that's kind of the leverage that the union has. That it can slow things down a bit, make consumers angry, and if the anger is directed toward Amazon, it might force them to the bargaining table. If it's directed toward the union or toward the delivery drivers who are on strike, it could work the other way and go against those union workers.